Welcome, Natasha. I am so happy to have you here and so happy to be able to share your journey, your evolution, who you are, and just the amazing work that you do in the world. So let's just start there with what do you do? Who do you help? I would love you to share.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm Natasha. I am a life coach. I work with embodiment and inner leadership, and I help mostly women. I've got a few men, but mostly women. I've been doing it for 8 years.
Amazing. Let's just start with the fact I'm trying to think. You're not like my first client. You're not, because I've been coaching for 11 years. But I'd love you to start. I mean, we've been working together since way before I was ever even doing business coaching. I'd love you to just share a little bit about, where we started over 8 years ago coaching, and then it just worked perfectly of you morphing into, as I moved into business coaching, that was what you were wanting to grow. And, when we started, it was more on your life and your getting a relationship. So I'd love you to share a little bit about the journey of where we came from together.
So I think I've been working with you for a decade, since I've been 29 and I'm 38.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to be 39
Wow.
this year. Since then, and oh my gosh, I was like just very lacking skill 29-year-old. I had a lot of energy, a lot of fire, a lot of desire, but I was like, I don't know how to do anything. You helped me with emotional management. I remember our first session ever. I remember what you gave me. It's still the same. It's like, I still use it. It's like one of the first things I always give clients, like how to create a container for my feelings. And you helped me dating. You helped me get steady with work, but you really helped me grow up, like bottom line. You really helped me grow up in all the areas that I wasn't. And that's really what I now help people with. I really help people grow up because I did it later in life, so I can spot it when people need to grow up. And the truth is we all need to grow up somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, as you got more into business, I remember you being like, I really like business. Like, you just kept saying that. Like, I really like business. I like talking about it. I like the clients who are into business. You just got more into it. I was like, oh, I actually, like, if I want to grow in my business, I need to not just be like, oh, I'm a coach and it just flows, but like, I'd like to learn more about business. So that's been the journey. But you helped me get married. You helped me get visas back to America. Oh my gosh. It's been a long, amazing journey. Yeah.
Such a long, amazing journey. Yeah. And it's so cool because thinking back, we would have sessions all the time of just working with yourself and your center and being connected and being able to just really follow through to create the life you wanted. And it was so cool to see how much, it's like I got married and then I could help you through the process of attracting a partner. And then I really scaled my business for motherhood. And it's like, that's then the process that I've been able, and it's almost like I've been able to, do it first and then be able to really coach you on it. And you've been also just you're the most open human being ever who's willing to face and be with whatever you need to actually create what you want. So we could obviously spend hours talking about all the things that you've grown and learned and evolved. There's a lot. There's a lot. And I just
family. I just want to
yes.
So
yes. Yes. And it's so fun to be able to, I think that's so cool even now for me of supporting you with the business is, I know you so well. I know you inside and out and patterns and your husband and work with him and work with your family. And so it's so cool when we talk about business. I'm like, we're talking about a lot more than just that. And I would love you to just share, because, I know when we started on the business side of things, you were more fluid with the business, right? Like when you get a client, if you get a client, go here, go there. And I get that. Yeah, I'd love you to share what intrigued you to actually grow your business and really take it on.
Yeah. Well, I was really incremental about it. So first was my goal to have 5 weekly clients. That took about 2 years to get to. And I had other jobs. I was doing other jobs. It was okay, I got that. Then it was 10 weekly clients. That was my dream. And that's really what I just kept going for. And you really helped me become a better coach. And that was really my business strategy. I was if I get better at coaching, I will get more clients, which was true. That really did happen. And then once I hit 10, then it really started to just take off.
Yeah.
referrals and that. And then I was like at 20, and suddenly I was like getting maxed. And that's when you were like, okay, it's time to be like way more strategic. And I just, yeah, I'm really open to your feedback. And I agreed.
Yeah.
And it was an incremental process, like where I had to choose, okay, I'm not just a coach. Like I want to run a business. I want to take on the skills of running a business, which is a
Yeah.
forever choice. And it's just always
Yeah.
so confronting. Always the next level. That's why I really
Yeah.
appreciate doing your containers, because like when you give me business advice, you can also like, because you know me so well, you can really help me with the pattern or like where I feel emotionally stuck. So it's like
Yeah.
business and safety. It's like
Yeah.
business growth and emotional.
Great put. That's a great way to put it. And it's true because it's like we can know what to do in the business, but if you aren't also simultaneously looking at like, okay, I know what to do, but there's something coming up of why I'm not doing it, and we're not addressing that, then we're just going to keep put a band-aid on what's going on. And I feel like that's a thing that, it's like, I think you said this in one of our mastermind calls or some call, and you were like, well, Christy started doing business, and I was like, well, that's how I'm going to get to stay coaching with her, because she's not doing personal coaching anymore. And like, I'm just so curious how that transitioned, because it's true. I mean, it's very real. Can you like share a little bit more just about that?
Well, I've really been willing to grow with you. Like
Yeah.
that's the bottom line. Like cause I really value you in my life. And like,
Mhm.
as, um, as a mentor, I really value my life and as
Mhm.
my support. So it was like, anytime you took a step, anytime you raised your prices, anytime you did, I'd be like, great, I'm moving too. Like she's
Yeah.
moving, I'm moving. Like anytime you hit your next level, I'm like, if I
Yeah.
follow her, I will hit my next level. And it happened every
Yeah.
single time. Anytime she raised her prices, I was like, great, I get to pay more for coaching, which means I'm going to make more money. And then I would. Like, that's just my person.
Yeah.
I just knew I also had searched for like 13 years before I met you. Like I had been on a journey. I had been all over the world. Like I had lived so many lives already. Like once I saw you, I knew I had a good thing. I was like, all right, I am getting results up the wazoo. Like basically wherever you grow. I was like, I could work on my business. Sure. Why not? Let's see what that's like. I wasn't like so passionate about it. I was like, whatever, let's just try it. And
Yeah.
then I loved it. Like I joined Wealthy Woman. Like, and I knew
Hmm.
you'd keep, I always worked with you on the side a little, but like, I
Yeah.
did one of your other group programs, but then I joined Wealthy Woman,
Yeah.
and it was just like a whole world into so much that I did not know.
Yeah.
And then Dance Life started to grow with business too. And then it's like, it was happening I also work for Dance Live, which is where you all know Christy comes from.
Yeah.
But like it was
Yeah.
happening at the same time where Dance Live was starting to want to get more seriously business oriented, a lot because of your input and high,
Yeah.
strong suggestions that we act around business and scale. So it was like
Yeah.
it was just all happening. And I was learning more on my
Totally.
own and more with you. And I was like, okay, I want this. Like I want to have a really sustainable business. Not money driven. I'm lifestyle driven. Like I
Yeah.
have money goals and I hit them and I like making a lot of money. Like I just had my highest month this month. I think I made almost 17 grand in coaching. I haven't told.
That's amazing.
I know. Now, if I can do it again,
That's amazing.
I know. It's incredible.
You will.
Like that.
And you have been hitting higher. Like I think what's so cool, I just want to name on the money thing is it's like some people have goals with money of like, let me hit my highest. And you have been very much of like, let me master this, let me maintain it. Now let me hit my next income amount and let me maintain it. I also want to mention something because I believe the month before was 15 and this was 17. Like it's like you go for your next increment. And the other thing that I think is so important to acknowledge is, you remind me so much of me of like, you've also been restructuring things in the business. And I actually personally think that is like $100,000 more because it's like you can make, as we know, once you have clients and you're seeing a bunch of one-on-ones, you can just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And I know for you, one of the biggest things we've worked on a lot, like one was just getting one-on-one clients. Then it was like having a flow of having them in. Then it was shifting to a container model. And then it was adding in a group program to really set you up to be able to have more spaciousness. So the fact that you hit your highest month while actually restructuring your business is amazing.
Yeah, like I guess I've probably really follow you more than I'm consciously aware of. Um, because I love how balanced you are with it. Yeah, you make your like, I don't know how much, yeah, you make a shit ton of money. We all know that. But like, but it's like, I know it's also not about that for you. Like it's about the money, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really about your life and the quality of your life. And what I know I'm following when I listen to you is that you are not going to go out of balance. Like you will
Mm-hmm.
not let yourself go out of balance or out of integrity with your values or how you want to live life. And that's why I wanted to keep going, because that's the
Yeah.
business model that I actually wanted to find it my own way.
Yeah.
But I knew the
Yeah.
imprinting, that's what I was getting. It was like, yeah, go for it and like tend to the integrity of your life, you know?
Totally.
So that's
Totally.
what I feel like I really got. And then once I started a group, I was like, this is incredible. You're like, I know,
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
And it's so much more effective. Like that's what
Yeah.
I was worried about, a group that my clients wouldn't get the same transformation one on one.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to
Yeah.
sacrifice that. But once I saw that
Totally.
they got even more, and like it was just,
Yes.
I was like, I just got it. I got your work more. I got my work more. I got, yeah. So I thought for
It's
business for
amazing.
sure, but I didn't know for personal coaching. And it's, the
Yeah.
groups just really.
Totally. They do. They do. And it's just so effective. And you've done an amazing job. Like to name, you launched your first group and you enrolled people into your first group and doing a lot, learning launch strategies and all of it. And like you're restructuring, you're letting go of one-on-ones and restructuring, and you're hitting really good income months, and something that I think is important to note is like, you've been wanting to set up your business, especially in the last, year of like, okay, eventually I want to be able to have kids. And what does that look like? And how I can't keep doing, again, it's like the integrity of the life. Like, this is not the life I want to live with kids. So we have to start shifting things now, which is amazing. I'm so glad, in a way I did go first before I got pregnant. That was my exact conversation. It was, I can do this, is not the life I want with kids. And I started before I got pregnant. And like, that's what you have done. And it's amazing.
Yeah, you were an amazing model for that. You really hustled when you were pregnant.
Yeah.
You were really it kind of, okay. But you were really shifting, and it's like, it takes work to shift the model,
Yeah.
It takes
Totally.
work. And I'm in that process now, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like when I see your life and I see that you have like 3 calls that week, I'm like, what? But I know you've really earned that, and you did it incrementally. And you said you have to be willing to have an income dip, and I'm there. Like I'm at the point where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm willing to have more of an income dip. It hasn't happened yet, but if it happens, I know
Yeah.
I'm building a group. And I also
Totally.
really learn from you when you're like, I always used to joke, like anytime you talk to Christy, what's she doing that weekend? She's refilming all of her content for Love the Woman. Every time you ask her, I'm like, do you really need to refilm it so much? But you're always like, I want it to be the best group ever. So anytime there's a new thing that comes in, you're like, I'm changing this. So I'm like, oh, I can always do that for my group. I can just keep making it better if I, have a different, which is natural in business.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And you have it, and I think the willingness, something I want to point out is one of the things that I think allows people to be really successful in business, which you really have, is the drive to really create your life and the drive to financially set yourself up. But more than that, it's like a willingness to go, I don't expect this to just be perfect all the time. I don't expect, and even though it's like you're willing to have an income dip and you haven't, and I remember going through that same thing in my business, especially after, I had Summer. I remember going through the exact same thing of, I'm willing to have an income dip. I'm willing to go down. And I didn't go down actually, but that willingness allowed me to not be so attached to actually making sure I was making the right moves for scalability and flexibility versus like what I had. So I think that's amazing. Like, I just want to emphasize it's your thinking. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that you've learned so much. Obviously, you listen to me all the time, being with me for so long, but you've really learned how to hold more of a neutral perspective with business. And that's what's allowed you to grow and still, live your whole life, is you're able to think about business in a really neutral way. And it's just a series of choices. It's a series of skills and choices. So I'd love you to share. I believe you started in Wealthy Woman.
I did.
2 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago.
No, like 2024. I was in Wealthy Woman that year.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, even you just saying like, oh, you like learned to hold it neutrally, like what that just did for me. I was like, oh, where am I not being neutral and holding things right now? Like, thanks for the reminder. Get to my next level of neutrality.
Yeah.
That's why I love working with you, because it's like I'm always getting a direction that keeps me really steady. I don't know how people do business without being in a group program, honestly. Like,
I say it all the time. I say it on every sales call. I'm like, when I see people who have gotten to where they've gone to without, like, not just business support, but the right business support, I'm like, the fact that you're in business is such an accomplishment, let alone, I would say this, I'm like, wait till you have the right support, which I know I will give. You're going to just like, there's just so much fuel that you can actually move.
Totally.
Yeah.
And in Wealthy, and that's what happened. Like I kept making more money when I joined Wealthy Woman. And I think the step that I took in Wealthy Woman was high ticket. I was like, go for high ticket. My prices were on the lower end because that was like the cost.
Yeah.
That's what you used to be like. And I liked that. Like, I thought there was something like my clients stayed with me for a long time. They still do. And yours did for like ever back then. And I liked that. I wasn't into the high ticket. I was like, okay, let me try high ticket. And so I did that and it worked. It worked. I was able to do it. I changed the model and, that really made the shift. And then I just got more about like posting and just learning, being like, oh, I'm not good at marketing. And like, that's a skill that if I want to grow, I really need to learn. And just being with other people who are in business, because everyone's at a different point. So there's going to be people who are behind you and you got to feel like, oh, look where I am. And then there's going to be people who are ahead of you and you got to be like, okay, move more. Like, look at what they're doing, look at what's possible.
Totally. It's so good. And so you did 2 rounds, I believe, of Wealthy Woman, and then you moved to the mastermind, and now you've been in the mastermind for about
over a year.
Yeah. And that's been like so cool to like see, it's like you graduate because you were like in this program and like now you've really worked with scalability, which is incredible. And what I love is like, you're such a good example of you really learn how to market more of just like, more old school, like go out there, go to a farmer's market, go to a yoga class and just like chit chat with someone and then befriend someone. You're like, and you're like so good at that. I mean, even personally, you're so good at just connecting with people personally. And then that's how you did it. I remember you'd go out and then so almost moving to, okay, how do I set up my business for scalability, for where I can predictably bring leads in? It's been a whole other ballgame to learn, the online marketing, and you've done it well. Like, I feel like you've brought your creative nature to being able, when you're like, oh, it works. When I do it, it's working. And it's like, yes, that's what I'm always trying to say. It's so simple. And it is how we set it up. So I'd love you to share just about what was your experience being in Wealthy Woman, and like what did you like? Anything you want to share about it? Anything you didn't like? You can share it all. I'm open to feedback.
I know it's different now. I just want to say, I know
it is very different.
You changed it now. So it's like, I loved my experience. It was a great group. Like, I feel like I can really trust that you attract good people and people that like I want to have connections with and be with. Yeah. The content is amazing. Like, you just get all this content. I actually still have access to the content in the mastermind. And, like,
I just filmed more yesterday, so
filming new Wealthy Woman content, and it's like the content was amazing, and just really gave me the belief that I could do it. Like, it really gave me the belief that I can keep going and I can do it. And it's like, I'm in it right now when it's like when it's a new thing you're building in your business. It's scary and hard to do it on your own. And when you have like 3 calls a month or something, you come back to it and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I can do this. Like it gives you the
Yeah. Totally. Totally. And what would, I guess I'd love you to share a little bit about like your experience in how I teach business coaching, what is different about the style? Because I do feel like, there's so many different styles to how we can learn business. And I think that it's, I know that there's a unique way that I incorporate doing it. And I do feel like there's a reason why also people move in their business and also their life changes too.
Mhm. Like well, honestly, you almost have like a Hermosi style. Honestly, I swear. Like of just like with the directness and like da
Yeah.
da 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 da, like with kindness. Like I think Hermosi has heart behind him. Like I
Yeah.
really see that, and you get right.
Yeah.
You cut through all the bullshit right to the bottom line of like where this person is not moving because you're a business coach and you have 10 years of personal life coaching experience and you're
Hmm.
excellent at it. So it's like I always say, I'm like, Christy's a coach of her generation because I know where she comes from. I know what she was born into. So like who she's chosen to be from that. I really believe you are a coach of our generation. And like the way you apply that to business is like Hermosi, but with like, you're like a shaman, a healer. Like you're like a healer also at the same time. Hermosi on one side, shaman healer on the other side. Mix that together. That's wealthy woman.
I've never heard that combo. I love it so
Well,
much.
that's who you've be turned into. Maybe it wasn't who you
Yeah.
were like 3 years ago, but that's the
Yeah.
best part of
No.
working with you. You are always evolving. Like you're always investing in
Yeah.
your next $25,000 mastermind. Like dropping it, like paying it in full. So it's like you're forever getting better. But you
Yeah.
can just expect the most real, direct heart and like, yeah, and I find you don't say what you think you're going to say. So much of the time I'm like, okay, I know she's just going to tell me this. And then she'll just be like, and I was like, oh, I did not think of that. And that was what I needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I mean, it is true. Like through the years, I think I used to take more of okay, what's the block? Let's really go into only what's the block and then like just take a step. And I feel like through the years of business, I've just really learned, my job is to keep people focused on what they need, and at the end of the day, and I think my value is life is so precious. Our time is so precious. And so I'm wasting your time as a business coach, letting you focus on things that aren't needed, even letting you dwell on things that are just like stories made up in your mind, but they're not in reality. And so I think of it as like what people are paying me for, yes, is to help them grow businesses and make money and change their life, which we do. But I do that by a big part of it is by valuing your time here on earth so much to not let you waste it, going down a marketing avenue that's not going to get you that result that you said you wanted. You're scared. And so you're like diverting attention to something that's not needed, and even the stories of that's something why I love, being direct with you and with everyone is like that is a story. Let's come back to reality of like what's actually happening right in front of us. And I think that that's how I think of it is like that's my job. Like that's my duty, and I feel like it's like my devotion. Like that's my integrity. That's what you're paying me for. Not just say here's my framework, do what I do. It's like anyone can look that up. It's like my job is because we're humans running a business and we have unconscious ways of operating and distraction patterns and fear patterns. And we don't know what we don't know. And that was the biggest mind blowing thing for me. I'm like, you can be so good at what you do. If you don't understand what is working in marketing and sales and business strategy, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to just do what works.
Love, and also you make it so simple. Like it's so much
Yes.
simpler than we make it be. And when you're on your own, it's not going to feel simple. It's going to feel
Yeah.
really complex because you have
Yeah.
so many stories in your head and oh my God, and Instagram is like just flooding you with information. But like
Yeah.
you really make it simple. Here's where you are. Here's your next step. Here's your direction. Here's the plan. Come back to me. And I also like, I don't know, I've never had any other coach, but I don't think most people are as hands-on as you are.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
so hands-on in all of your programs and you give so
Mm-hmm.
much energy. So it's like you just get so much personalized attention in a group.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, I truly believe that that's at the end of the day, that's what we need to move forward. I always say at the end of the day, it's understanding what you need to do to stay focused on what it is. And we need that personalized support. Like, I really think we're so pulled by so much in our life, in our minds, in our emotions, all of it. It's like you need someone who's not you're like, okay, I believe in you and I'm going to hold you to, I always say, like, I'm going to hold the bar of what you said you wanted and we're going to work towards it. And life can happen, but we're not lowering that bar. And I also just want to emphasize for you, Natasha, like, you as a person and your life, no, like, it's totally different person. And it's so cool to see just like how much you have transformed just as a person in your confidence and your communication and I can make money, I can do this, I can have this lifestyle, me and my like just all the things like you just changed so much also as a person I feel through this whole process.
Totally. Yeah. It's like, I didn't mean to have my own business. I didn't mean to be a coach. Everyone told
Yeah.
me to be a coach, not Christy. I was just like, I think I should be a coach. I just started. I was like, okay. But like, I didn't mean to do that, but
Yeah.
I really found empowerment in taking responsibility for my money and not
Yeah.
waiting for someone to save me and not waiting for like a guy to come and pay for everything, like, but really, and welcome that, but like really know my money and have my own relationship with my money. And like
Yeah.
I've worked on that for years, and like I love money, love making it, love having a
Yeah.
business, and it's really hard. It's really hard because
Hmm.
you really have to face where you are not skilled. Right. And just
Yeah.
really be with that. And like, it's like army crawl through it until you're like, can do it. So it's,
Totally.
yeah, it's really hard. And that's why like we need help. We need support to like,
Yeah.
we need support to really, that it makes the transformation happen faster if you have support.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's so true. And it's like because it will expose, every new level of business will expose where you're not skilled and how to not take it personal and still move your business and your life forward. And then on the other side of it, and that's what I've seen in you, that's what I've seen in me, and that's what I've seen in so many people is you wake up to a human being where you're like, wait, like I can do anything, because you're just like, this is so cool. If I can do that, and
Totally.
then you realize how incredible you are as a human. That's what I see is it makes you face in the way that we do it. It makes you face yourself
Mhm.
and grow the business and make more money. But in the process, you're making momentum and you're taking action, you're getting results. And then you start to have these more awarenesses of, wow, I could do that. And it shows you how capable you are as a person and how discomfort and fear and all those things don't drive anymore. And then I noticed like that changes the way people relate in their personal life. Like your standards of friendship change, your standards of relationship change, your where you put your time, like you just operate at a higher quality of a human being. And then therefore your whole life raises because of the business also.
That's what I love too. And your standard of clients change too. Like that
Yes.
I noticed. I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
willing to like when like really being more like when you put flour through the thing, what's it called? I forget the word. But when you're
Shifting
like
through it. I have no. Yeah.
you're sifting
Yeah.
through to like letting people go that's not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, the step that I'm on now is like really carving out time to work on my business, which means
Yeah.
saying no to clients that day. Like it's saying a lot more no, which I know is successful. That
Yeah.
I'm there is successful. Now I have to then take that time and use it effectively, and I have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
that's the shift of like creating more time so I can work more on my judgment and like working on the business. Like
Totally.
always you need time to work on your business, not just be in the business. So, and I really haven't
Totally.
even gotten there. Like Christy planted that seed you planted that seed in my head like a year ago. And that's what I find too.
Yeah.
It's like things sprout later, but I'm okay
Yeah.
with that because I work a lot. So it just takes time for
Yeah.
me to be ready. But you gave it to me like a year ago. Like you told me certain
Totally.
things I'm doing now, you told me to do them a year ago. So it's also
Yeah.
like I have you planting seeds for me that sprout in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And also you take the feedback so well and you take the time. And I think the thing that's also so important to acknowledge is like you have a very also full life and and I notice this because like people move at different pacings also depending on where they're at in their life and also what they value. You know, some people are like, I'm so money hungry, I just want to go as fast as possible. Some people are like, I'm life hungry and I'm going to move my business at the pace that I want my life to all come with me. And it's a balance of it all, you know? And I think that for you, and also I just want to say, like, you're such a good contributor in the groups, like in every group. You're such a good contributor. And I feel like also, you know, at the retreat and the groups and just like such a great participant. And I think in a lot of ways, it also, you know, you're so good at leading groups and, you know, being in groups helps you lead more groups and see how it is to participate and the energy you want in a group. And I think that that's amazing.
Yeah, I get so much from contributing.
Yeah.
I get so much and my relationships build with people in the groups. And
Yeah.
it's like I just feel like if you're listening to this and if you're not open to Christy's feedback, then you're not a good fit for her programs. Like if I'm serious, like if you can't take the
Yeah.
feedback, it's like it's not it's like it's a waste of your time. But if you are open to
Yeah.
feedback, your business will grow. That's
Yeah.
business will grow and your life will grow. Like I've had that
Totally.
experience receiving your feedback for a decade. And like I have my
Yeah.
dream life and I'm building my dream business. And you're helping me
Yeah.
build that because you've built yours. So you can really, you know how to lead people to do that. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
And again, the people that you attract are like amazing. Like I love all of
Yeah.
the Wealthy Woman girls, the mastermind girls. We were all together during the retreat. It's just like really good people all wanting
Yeah.
to like grow in business. It was like the retreat
Yeah.
was just off the charts. It was incredible. I know this isn't about the retreat, but it really was amazing.
There will be another one. Yeah. Yes, it was. And it's like yeah, it definitely is about the environment. And I think that that's so important when we're growing businesses is like, what environment are you putting yourself in and who are you surrounding yourself with? And what I also love about it is that it's like all of you guys can get so real. Like you can bring like, this is what I'm dealing with in my life. And that's what's impacting the business. And that's something I really value is like, you know, our life and business are not separate. You know, and one thing I just thought about is you've watched me go through, you know, losing my dad and moving, getting pregnant, having a baby. Like you've seen the ins and the outs of like everything I've had to navigate. And obviously because of our relationship, I've heard, you know, and I share openly about like what I'm going through. And I think it's so cool because it's like you get to hear the realness of like, wow, there's transitions that happen. There's challenges, there's beautiful moments, there's bliss, like there's the full range. And I think that's what's so cool about it is like the life and business integration together and both coexist.
Yeah, I think what you did at an event like 10 days after your dad transitioned, something like that. That
I think it was like 30, but yeah. Yeah.
felt
It was soon.
was fast. But like,
Yeah.
but you posted that week too. Like, it's like
Yeah.
to watch you go through the hardest life transitions, losing a parent, your childhood home burning down, having a baby, and the steadiness that you have in your business. It's like, it is intimidating. It is intimidating. I'm like, Natasha, you see what she's going through and how steady she is? Like, come on, let's get it together. Like it is like it's such, but it's really a beacon of what's possible. And it's like
Yeah.
and what I love is that I know you walk your talk. Like I know there's nothing you're telling me to do that you're not doing, and you have a lot of
Yeah.
integrity. Well, you have like a shit ton of integrity. And showing up for your clients when you go through the hardest life's transitions. I think like after you had the baby, I wasn't in the mastermind yet, but you were like, "All right, guys, I'm on if you guys have questions," and it was like,
Yeah. Well, they were like they were meeting together. I'd set it up that they met together for, you know, for a chunk of time after the baby. And I was on a walk with her and she was sleeping. And I was like, hey, I'm going to pop on Zoom during the walk and ask me any questions when I'm on a walk. Like, I'm just pushing around a sleeping baby. I'm good. Like, and but that's the thing I think that I value so much, because I think so much in business, we focus so much on like, okay, the next milestone financially and the next thing and the launch and this, but so much of where I feel like I always wanted, and it's funny, every mentor I worked with and everybody, I'm always like, what does your life look like? Like, how are you doing this? And this is happening. And I noticed it was very rarely did I ever really hear, like maybe I heard a nanny schedule, but like rarely did I ever hear life, and I think it's just so helpful, because I think one of the things in growing a business that I find is we feel so alone and lost in our own sphere of our own journey. And I think that being able to go, and that's why I value sharing so openly with you guys of, hey, this is what I'm going through, and this is what there's the one thing I'm showing up at my business, everything else can wait, and being able to know like, oh, that's what you do when you're going through, whatever happening. I have less energy, or whatever it is. It's like, just focus on the one thing, everything else can wait. And there are ways to think about like the business and life integration that when I really think about people being able to be sustainable and scalable and flexible, like that's what we need, right? Anyone can, if you have 24 hours in a day, all week, and whatever your life looks like anyone can grow a business. But the people who actually maintain it and have the quality of life they want is because they know how to stay consistent and how to know what to focus on or what to prioritize, and how to, one of the biggest things, build capacity where you can hold for emotions and triggers and life and still show up. And it's like a gift. Like I think about it, it's like, I tell people all the time, even as even just this week, navigating some personal things. And I was like, it's a gift to show up. Like I get so given to in the showing up. I don't feel like I'm like giving all this energy that it's exhausting me. It gives me life, and I love my personal life, and both get to coexist,
That's beautiful. So beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's like, yeah, it's like you're a holistic life business coach. It's
I love
like
it.
it's all in one together. And it's like, the truth is, like, you always say it, like lives. We all have really, like, no one gets off from loss. No one gets off from deep unknown and fear. Like no one gets to not experience that. Everyone has to go through that. And like, stay steady in your business while you're a living human being. Also with everything with AI and coming in, like, I really do believe that what a great welcome AI. We're happy to have you. No problem. But like, it's like humans are always going to want connection, and most of them, we'll see. But like, people want that, and you really stand for that and teach people how to create businesses from real connection, and not just from like being a robot, or like not a robot, but like being, like trying to fit a model. Like
totally.
Like you really are so human and real with people, and that's the training you're getting. And that is why my group was amazing, and every single person except for one person is like continuing, because
which is amazing.
I can run groups because like I'm trained by you how to run groups. And they're embodied and dynamic, and they're real, and it's not just you teaching off of a slide, and you are tracking every single person on the screen. I'm always like, how did you notice that? How did you, you'll have like 25 people on, and you'll just be like, boom, boom, boom. Like, boom, you're tracking everyone. She texts people if they don't come. Like, I don't know if you still do that, but you used to do that.
Here and there. Yeah. No, it's true. But that's what and I just want to emphasize, like, you've been able to like keep clients for years and years and years. Your clients stay with you, they grow with you, and now you're running groups, and now they're staying with you. I'm like, hello, you're having the same experience. Like that's exactly what I did.
I need to up my quantity in my group, but it's true. The quality.
What was your first launch also? Yeah. Anyone's first launch is not going to be typically, unless you have a huge audience, 25, unless you have a bigger audience, like someone else in the group was 17 on her first launch, but she had an audience built. And that's something I think is so important. I just want to name, honestly, for you in this moment, but also for everyone listening to this, is that's why you can't compare like number to number. You know, it's like, that's why I give everybody a different strategy and a different way to move, because it's like, what are you dealing with? Like, right, that client who had a whole base, it's like, yeah, her launch looks different than yours because she already had a whole audience online. You were building an audience online. So it's a different ball game of how we launch and how we structure things, you know, and you just to give like some context, I think you just started posting steadily on social media like 4 months ago.
I could be steadier, but yes.
Okay. So like, let's just give like,
started that. Yeah.
I just want to say, for context, you haven't even been steady posting on social media and doing the online marketing and actually doing the things. And that's incredible that you've seen the results. And part of it, and this is something I think is important for people to know, is like, for you, Natasha, you have such a full client base. So actually the challenge has been dwindling your client base down so that we can have time for the marketing. Whereas a lot of people, they don't have as full of a client, so they have capacity to really build audience, but then they want clients coming in. And so that's what I think is so important, is never comparing like one launch or one thing to another person. It's like we have different circumstances, but everyone is kind of, you know, always moving towards the same direction of like, I wanted a scalable business. I want it to work for my life, and I want to feel good in what I do and make great money doing it, you know, and all of it gets to coexist.
It's so true. I showed the mastermind girls my schedule and they were just like, I was like, yeah, that's a light week. That's why I'm changing things. But like, but also, I just want to say, when it comes to this consistent marketing, I was like looking at your Instagram, and it's very good, by the way. I just get fed Christy's content. It's like I'll get like 3 posts in a row. I'm like, did she just post 3 times? I'm like, it's just my algorithm.
No.
Anyways, but I looked at how many posts you had. I think you have like 1,200 posts or something. Over 1,000. You've posted over 1,000. I think it's 1,200. And I remember when you didn't post on Instagram. I actually used to post on Instagram. I did a thing called Tune In Tuesday. It was great. It was my idea.
Oh,
business. It
yeah.
was steady. It was one video a week, whatever.
Yeah.
Christy was like,